Hi, it's Elise here at Bowman Library with a whole new teen book spotlight. So this week, we are exploring some of our 2023-2024 high school Virginia Reader's Choice books. So a little bit about what this is. Every year, there's a group of librarians and professionals across the state get together. They make a list of 10 books that they think are amazing, okay? These are books that they think every high school YA reader should read, okay? And then what you get to do is if you read at least 4 out of the 10, you then get to vote for which one you think is the best. And the one with the most votes at the end of all of this, at the end of April, that's the winner. You get to pick what the best book is for the state for this year, okay? So, we're not talking all 10. We are talking 6 of the 10. But I have to tell you, these 6 are some of my favorite books I have read probably over the past year. I cannot wait to share them with you. That way you can be just as excited as I was. So let's get started. Our first one is called What I Carry. Okay, so Muriel has only ever known being in foster care, okay? She was left at the hospital as a baby, and now she is 17 when our story starts, and she has been through her fair share of homes. She knows the rules: not to get attached, keep her head down, and only pack what she can carry. She's never really made friends, always kept her grades up, and then kept everyone else at arm's length. It is her final home, though, that all of this starts to get challenged. Her new foster mother, Francine, she is smart, kind, and socially aware. Kira could potentially become a best friend, something Muriel's never had. And then there's Sean, who she can't help but being drawn to on so many different levels. As she gets closer to 18, though, which is the age-out birthday for foster care, Muriel is going to have to decide for herself if she wants to let people into her life once or for all, or does she always just want to depend solely on herself. This unique look at something that people deal with on a regular basis. An amazing read, What I Carry. Oh, one of my favorites. And this author, Jeff Zetner, he has grown on me. Love this author. In the Wildlight, his newest one. Oh, okay. So Cash has not always had the easiest life in his small Tennessee town, but he is making the best of it. He lives with his mama and papa after his mother passed away from an overdose, and Cash's best times he can think of are with them, when he's boating on the river, and when he's with his best friend Delaney. It is when everything changes, though, when Delaney makes this scientific discovery which catapults her to instant fame. And Cash's life changes. He just doesn't know it quite yet. Delaney is recruited to attend this prestigious prep school for her senior year of high school, all the way up in Connecticut. And her one condition to going to the school is that Cash goes with her, okay? At Papa's urging, Cash doesn't want to leave, okay? His Papa is sick. He knows he should stay in this town, but Papa urges him to go somewhere different, become someone better than you could be in this town. And Cash finds himself at Middletown Academy, a fish out of water, but on a life-changing trajectory that alters everything. This is filled with friendship, self-realization, and discovery. Family, there are so many emotions. Incredibly well written. It's a must read. You will relate to Cash. You will need a box of tissues for this one. I promise. So good, though. Loved this book in the Wildlight. Another book I loved, but it's completely different than the one we just talked about. None Shall Sleep. Okay, so 18 years old, Emma Lewis and Travis Bell, they find themselves being recruited by the FBI for a summer project, okay? So keep in mind, it's the 1980s our book is set in, and there's a specific reason that they are wanted as recruits. And there's a special project that is waiting for them if they agree to do this. They soon learn, because they agree, that the FBI's behavioral analysis unit, like the stuff that Criminal Minds is based on, this, okay? They want them to interview teenage serial killers who have been caught and are in prison, in order to help the Bureau create a better understanding and a better profile to help catch killers in the future. Now, agreeing to help, they soon find themselves caught up in a serial killer spree, which becomes more and more complicated by the day. Now, sent to interview the infamous serial killer Simon Gutmanson in order to gain a greater insight into what this current serial killer's next steps may be, Emma and Travis start to realize that there is more than what's going on and what the FBI thinks, and that Simon knows more than what he's letting on, okay? This psychological murder mystery is one that you will not be able to put down, okay? This was a 2 a.m. read for me, people, okay? It's Mindhunter meets Silence of the Lambs, and guess what? It takes place right in Northern Virginia, like complete with a stop in Berryville, people. Like, oh. Okay, there is a sequel to this one, just came out this summer. So good too, okay? So, if you like a good psychological murder, mystery, thriller, a book you won't be able to put down, a book that you need to know what happens next, a book with some twists you don't see coming, oh, so good. None shall sleep. All My Rage, oh, amazing. That's all I have to say about this one. Sal and Noor are both 18 years old Pakistani teens living in a small town in California, each with their own stories and troubles keeping them up at night. For Sal, he is trying to keep the small motel afloat that his parents worked so hard for, all while his mother's health is failing. And for Noor, it is trying to get out of town and away from the abusive uncle who rescued her from an earthquake back in Pakistan when she was young, and he continues to remind her of what he did for her. Now, told through both of their points of view, so if you like a multiple points of view story, this one right here, Sal and Noor will find themselves making choices they could never have imagined, all in the name of family, love, and trying to be true to themselves. This amazing realistic novel, it will leave you breathless. There are realistic depictions of Islamophobia, racism, poverty, trauma, and abuse. I will tell you, if you like an audiobook, the audio version of this book, it's so worth the listen. Loved this one. Oh, yeah, All My Rage. Blackbirds in the Sky. Okay, so this is all about the true story of the 1921 Tulsa race riots, which have not really been discussed or shared about in history classes or really anywhere else, but it needs to be. It should be, and that's what this book does, okay? So the author starts with the progression of events before the race riots start, setting the scene and stage for how Blacks and African Americans were being treated and how they rose above all of that by creating a neighborhood which was known as Black Wall Street, okay? It was really called Greenwood in Oklahoma, okay? But it was known by Black Wall Street. Colbert, the author, then she goes into the events of the race riots. And it's not just simple, here are the facts, okay? So mixed in with all this, there are primary sources, there's photographs, there's interviews, there's oral histories, there's newspaper articles, okay? And you will think you are there as you read through what actually happened, okay? She also examines the immediate aftermath, including many deaths, injuries, and arrests, but not to many of the white participants. But then she also looks at the impact it has later in the future, as well as reminding us that it was not a one-time thing. This amazing work is one that is highly encouraged. You should read it. I mean, it's not going to take you a long time, okay? And it will open your eyes and mind to an event which needs to be given more time and understanding. An incredible nonfiction read, Blackbirds in the Sky. And our last one for today is lore. I will be completely honest. A lot of times I don't really like books that have a sequel, nor do I ever really read a book that I wish there was a sequel. I so wish there was a sequel. I really do. Okay, one of my favorites. If you like Greek mythology and you like the Hunger Games, this basically combines those things, okay? 1,500 years before our story begins, there are 9 Greek gods and goddesses that they defy Zeus. And as punishment for what they did, what they tried to do, they tried to basically oust him. They were not successful. Their punishment is that he creates what's known as the Aegon, okay? That every 7 years, the gods and goddesses are stripped of their immortality for 1 week, okay? And then whoever kills them first, whatever human being kills them first, they get their powers and immortality for the next 7 years. Now, fast forward to present day New York City, there are different houses of family, and Melora Perseus, known as Lore, she is the last one in her line. After the brutal murder of her parents and sisters, after the last Aegon, she's determined she wants to stay out of this year and she just wants to survive. One evening, though, as she gets home, there is a wounded person on her doorstep. And it's not just any person. It's Athena. Yeah, like the goddess Athena. When Athena makes a deal with her that is too irresistible not to take, Lore soon finds herself sucked into the Aegon more than she ever could have imagined, and the next week is going to change her life and everything she knows and thinks. This book is non-stop, okay? There are so many twists and turns. Like, there were some moments, okay, reading this. It's filled with action, adventure, mystery. There is a touch of romance. It does not take away from the story, though. I can promise you that. There's drama. And it is a standalone. So if you're looking for a one-and-done fantasy, oh yeah, right here, okay? If you love Greek mythology, or even if you don't like Greek mythology, loved this one, Lore. So these are just 6 of the books out of the 10. So we have 4 amazing other books we didn't talk about, but they are our Virginia Reader's Choice High School nominees for the 2023-2024 year, okay? So start reading, read at least 4. You get to vote for which one you think is the best, or read all 10. Then you can make like the best decision you possibly can. Completely up to you. Oh, I cannot wait for you to read these books. You will love them so much. I can promise you. I hope you tune back next time when we have a whole new teen book spotlight, and I hope you have an amazing week.